Hey everybody, I'm back with my budgeting video for my December 4th paycheck. And now that it is in the month of Christmas, I have my silly little pen that I pull out for Christmas. It's supposed to be, what is it, like an elf pen or something from the North Pole. So every time you click it, you get a different thing that is apparently a very elfish type quality or activity. I don't know. So there's like smile big, make snowman, sing songs, spread Christmas cheer, be jolly, eat candy. Now eat candy is my favorite one, but I can't actually get it to click on to say that with the pen nub out so I can write. So I think the pen is trying to keep me on a Christmas diet, which is very wise of it. I've already done some shopping before I did the budgeting, because of course that seems to be what I do. It was on Thursday. I had to stop somewhere on the way home from work, and then when I was out, it was one of those, well, I'm already out, so I might as well do some other stuff. Although I guess since I didn't get paid till the Friday, technically, that doesn't affect this budget. But yeah, either way, I've already done some stuff. So let's get started. My balance in the account right now is $1,217.14 minus part of rent. Let's just remember to actually do the calculator part before I do the writing this time. Won't that be a little novel change for us all? And then my line of credit payment is it in there? I can't tell. And then sinking funds. You know, for a pen from the dollar store, it actually writes really well. And then the never-ending payments to the student loan. I got a random email from them. I honestly don't know what it was supposed to be about. It was talking about like how people are struggling and how you may be having trouble getting in touch with anybody at the student loan place because of like the high demands for them right now, and that things may have changed with payments. And I don't know, I put in my application for payment assistance and I'm still waiting to hear back from them. I have no idea what's going on with them at all. So I'm just going to continue making the payments I was making before and hope that if I'm wrong and I'm not paying enough, they have some sort of decency or leniency or humanity or something when it finally gets caught and all of a sudden they're telling me I owe them a crap ton of money. Because that's sort of what they do. They just don't tell you, and then all of a sudden you go to check something and they're like, oh hey, you're behind by hundreds of dollars. You must pay that within 24 hours, and then you end up having like anxiety and panic attacks. They're really, really great for my stress level. I'm gonna guess 200 for gas, as always. And then I'm only doing 80, like there's some people that I'm sure do less, for food. Because I don't really need anything this week. All I needed was milk and bananas, and I bought them. And then I ended up buying like shortbread and crackers in the shape of Christmas trees and random things because I was in the store and everything's Christmassy and festive, and it was making me think of being home for Christmas and all the random things my mom always has, like food related items, because in case you get nibbly, right? And I wanted them all because they reminded me of home at Christmas, and I can't go this year, but at the same time, there's only me. I can't buy everything. It's ridiculous. So, yeah, I bought the crackers that are in different Christmas shapes. It's like a snowman and a Christmas tree and I think a gingerbread house shape. I don't know. I ate them without really looking at the shapes, which I suppose is defeating the purpose of buying cute crackers. And yes, I bought a little package of shortbread that I haven't opened up yet, and I bought some antipasto, which I had some yesterday. I absolutely love that stuff, but it's so expensive, and I just bought like a little jar. So that was lovely. And yeah, I don't know. I didn't really need other food, so I'm just gonna do the 80 and see how that goes. I'm kind of hoping that because I don't give myself the full amount, since I honestly do not need anything this week, that it'll stop me from like sort of going in to think like, oh, I'll pick up like this one random item just sort of like on a whim, and then see all the other Christmas goodies that are out there and think, oh, I should definitely treat myself, right? No more treating oneself. We've been living through a pandemic. I've been eating cookies. It's not pretty. So out of so yeah, no, not out of, sorry. Okay, so I have a buffer of 44.46. Now that would be better, I promise it would be, but I had a dentist appointment yesterday and I paid for that using debit, which took out obviously from this money, and that was $61.20. And can I just say, thank all the gods for healthcare coverage, because it was gonna be like, if I didn't have coverage, it was like hundreds and hundreds of like $500 or something, and then coverage gets it down to $61.20. Like, oh man, I would have the worst teeth if I didn't have coverage. And then I spent $35 because a friend was fundraising for her company. They work with like rehabilitating owls or owl habitats, or I'm not completely certain what it is, but she's on my dragon boat team. She put a call out to the team saying that they were doing a silent auction because like they've been really hurting lately and they need to raise funds, and I'm not gonna say no. Owls are cute. She's my friend. There we go. So yeah, that did kind of like mess with that a bit. Now I do have to go to the post office. I was supposed to go today and it hasn't happened yet because I really wanted to get the budget done first, because I was nervous about if I could actually afford to go to the post office. And now I'm thinking I really can't unless I put it on the Visa, which I would like to refrain from doing. But it's not like I can postpone Christmas until I have enough money to go to the post office to mail things, right? Like, things got to get in the mail. Everything's sort of, well, I was going to say everything is delayed. I don't actually know if it is or not, but it just feels like it could be. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I didn't put a payment here on my Visa because my landlords, what they did was they deducted from what I owed for rent for the paint supplies and whatnot that I purchased for painting some of the walls in my suite. And so then when I paid them rent, since I had to pay less, the amount that was left over that I would have normally paid them, I put onto the Visa, because of course I paid for the painting supplies on the Visa. So I did that, and I've decided to leave that as my payment on there, even though my Visa balance is really high right now. Just because I made a payment, it's a nice big one, it was like $250, and really there's no money in here to be making another Visa payment right now. And I'm actually contemplating moving my balance from the Visa over to my line of credit, and then recalculating my line of credit payments, but assuming that I'm going to take an entire year to pay off the line of credit, because that'll lower it. And I know like interest and everything, that's not always the wisest thing, but like, hear me out. If I add the balance of my Visa onto my line of credit, it'll be at $3,131.20 balance. And then if I calculate it out, so we get, I think it's like 26 paychecks in a year, because we have a couple months where you get like 3 paychecks instead of 2. That would mean roughly my payments would be $120.43, which then I could bump up whenever I have a payday where I have the leftover money available to be able to bump up a payment. But it would also mean that like it would be on a payment plan that I created, so it would get paid off within the year, which is great. And then it would leave me more money in my budget so that I wouldn't be relying on my Visa for like when I need to go to the post office and I'm on a time crunch, so I can't wait until the next paycheck, things like that, right? Because I think the reason that I've been using it so much and not paying it off as quickly as I had intended is because I don't have enough money left over after I've paid my bills to actually be able to function when it's paying for something that's outside of these things, right? Like, I don't know if this is making any sense, or if I'm just trying to find an excuse to free up a little bit more money. I don't know. I need to contemplate, but I think that might be the way to go, because this year, the year of hell, I was making really high payments. Anytime I came into extra cash, like tax refund or GST checks, or when, like stuff like that, I put it all onto the line of credit. And in something like 8 months, I paid off 10 grand. But I was living super tight on my budget, but there was also nowhere else to spend money. Do you know what I mean? Everything was closed. It was go to work, come home. I was isolated for part of that time because of potential exposure, and I work with seniors, so I couldn't go to work. Like, literally nowhere to spend money. All my activities got canceled, so there was just, it's not that it was easy, I don't want to say that, but it was easier than if it had been a normal year to pay off that much debt in one chunk, like 1 year, 8 months, I don't know. But I'm thinking maybe next year won't be the same. We don't know what's coming up. We don't know if there'll be a vaccine that we can take. We don't know if we'll be back to normal. But things have slowly inched their way back towards some kind of semblance of normal. Like there's virtual concerts that maybe you want to buy a ticket for. You're allowed to go to restaurants, well, depending where you are, but where I am, you can go to restaurants. So every now and then I go out with a friend, or because I live alone, I have a bubble of 2 people. And so I was allowed to have a friend come over, so she came over and we did takeout and we drank a lot and it was great. But it all costs money, right? And those were expenses that we didn't have even 4 months ago because none of that was allowed. But now that it's allowed, I think I need to ease up on the budget a bit to actually be able to pay for those things as they pop up, versus either paying for them and really screwing up this number, or using the Visa card thinking I'll pay it off with the next paycheck and then not having the money to pay it off the next paycheck. I might be talking myself in circles here. But yeah, I don't know. I gotta figure it out. Oh, and then on top of that, my windshield on my vehicle has a huge crack in it. It came out of nowhere. Like literally, I parked it one night, no crack. Next morning, I get it in there for work, crack. I have no idea how this happened overnight. It just did. So now I have to figure out how much that's gonna cost to repair, which isn't that just a peachy idea? Yeah. Okay, so now that I've rambled, as always, and left you with a whole bunch more information about what I'm contemplating finance-wise than you really probably wanted to know, I am going to head off to actually transfer funds and make payments to things. So, yeah, according to my elf pin, we should all be smiling big, so let's smile big. Have a great rest of the weekend, whatever you are doing for it. And yeah, enjoy December, you guys. I'll see you in a couple weeks. Bye.